Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Kal Penn. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really admire your stuff.
Thank you. Could you tell me first? I just kind of set it up, but really, you got the call. You must have got a call a couple months ago. You kept that part a little secret. But
Yeah.
what was that like?
Well, this is something that I've been thinking about for a while. I know most folks know me as an actor and from some of the movies that I started out doing or from House. But when I went to college, I studied film and the arts, but I also was really interested in public service. But as an actor, that wasn't something that I had put out very publicly. I was always quietly doing things, and I kind of discreetly was going to grad school while I was acting, and the kind of stuff that I didn't really think was relevant to the characters I played, and so I didn't really mention it to anyone. And then in 2007, during the writer's strike, we couldn't shoot House for a couple of months because there were no scripts. So I ended up going to Iowa for I think about 2 months and volunteering for the Obama campaign. Ended up joining his arts policy committee, and then I went off and taught a class in Asian American studies. And then the strike finally ended, and we came back, and I was thrilled to be back at work. But I also thought, well, I really enjoyed serving in that public service capacity, and if he happens to be elected president, I'd be honored to continue serving. So I went up to David Shore, who's the guy who created House, and I told him that story, and he kind of looked at me and he said, "Sir, you're telling me you want off the show?" And I said, yes. And he said, "Now, is this because you really want to go work on Desperate Housewives or CSI New York?" I said, no. To be perfectly honest, this is one of the coolest acting jobs I've had because now I'm, 32 years old, finally playing an adult character on a good dramatic show. It's just my heart is telling me to do something else right now. It's nothing big and dramatic. It's not like I'm.
Cal, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got to stop just for a second to say this because I know people must be listening to what you're saying. And to me, this is the epitome of a true American. This is the epitome of having respect for your country, having respect for the system, understanding that if you complain about the ills of our society, you step up to the plate and do something about it. My ultimate admiration goes out to you because there are so many people who talk so much garbage but would never be willing to walk away. As a matter of fact, a couple other people have not been willing to walk away from their post to work in this administration because we know it's a cut and pay. So my hat goes off to you, sir, and a lot of respect. But go ahead. I just cut you off.
Well,
So
thank you. No, I mean, you touched on something interesting, which is that I was never involved in politics. I'm actually a registered independent, and I voted for Democrats and Republicans and probably everyone in between. But I was always a complainer, and I was always very cynical. And it wasn't until volunteering for the Obama campaign that I realized that there were so many people who worked on that campaign from really every walk of life, who just wanted to make the country a little bit better. And I realized, wow, if you just, everyone has the right to complain, and obviously you should voice your concerns. But if we each just do a little bit, we can make such a huge difference. And I was really inspired by all the people who I met who were doing that, and it's an honor to join them in this capacity.
Well, now, when's your first day? And you have an office?
I'm not an employee of the White House right now. The start date is still to be determined. I think folks just found out about this because there had to be a little bit of a transition between the time that I finished House and the time that I started. So
yeah, especially it may not be that good for the press thing where we got a guy going to work for the White House who just committed suicide. People, no, I'm only kidding.
Well, I also gotta find an apartment in D.C. the whole bit. So,
sir, I gotta beg you now. This is not a setup. You're on the show. For the hour before you came into this discussion, we were talking about the issue of medicinal marijuana, and I'm connecting the dots and thinking that I know this is something that maybe you haven't been approached about yet to take on into the office of liaison, but I have a plan, and this is no ifs, ands, or buts, cast iron plan on how the president can institute a medicinal marijuana program that is just really an expansion of the program that's existed for 30 years. At any point in time when you're ready to go in and say, I'm ready to bring in some really good forward-thinking advice and someone who's been studying this issue around the world for 20 years, sir, I'm ready to come in and I'm ready to do due diligence, but you need to let them know that between now and the time that they ask me for advice, I'm getting ready to sue them. So
On a personal level, this is something that I really know nothing about, and it's partially because I'd started out doing some stoner movies, and I actually don't smoke
Gotcha.
in real life. So whenever discussions like that came up, they tended to come up from folks who use marijuana recreationally, and that was never of interest to me. But because of that, I also am very ill-informed when it comes to medicinal uses and exactly what you were talking about with which is health policy. That's also not my focus in the White House. I'm mostly the point person for the arts and Asian American issues. But I mean, everything that you said is something that I would obviously love to learn more about.
Well,
So
if you run into the other guy in that same office that's liaison and issues for public health, let him call me, and I'm ready to come in. I can do a full blown proposal. I have to say, what's the most exciting thing you're looking forward to when you get to DC? Come on, you got to be looking forward to getting on Air Force One. I'm gonna be up front. If I got to go and hang out with the president for a minute, I want a flight. He can fly me from just go up, fly around DC, and land again. That's all right.
This is going to sound incredibly cheesy probably, but I'm really looking forward to helping. There's already a team at the Office of Public Liaison. I think there are about 14 folks who are incredible. I'm just going to be one part of that team, and I'm excited to just really get in there and start doing the work that I've been looking forward to for so long. It's such an honor. Especially as the son of immigrants, I was born and raised in New Jersey, and the first one in our family to grow up in the U.S. and I'm incredibly patriotic because of that. And so it's just an incredible honor to have this opportunity.
It's an honor to have you, sir, on this show representing what really true Americans are all about, and that is if you're going to complain about the society, step up to the plate to do something about it. And this man walked away from a Hollywood gig to put information in front of the president on behalf of all of us. I can't say thank you to you enough, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Montel. I really appreciate it.
Let us know what's going on. Call us from time to time.
Definitely. Thank you.
Get an extra set of cufflinks. Send them my way. See you later.
All right.
Montel across America.